Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy. Spring is coming and today we will answer to the question which is the best flying unit in 2025 in 4 different categories. But first I wanted to thank you all for the support to the last video. I'm truly happy that so many of you enjoy my work and you can have a little look at the roadmap of the next week. Said that, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy your time here, and let's begin. The first question we're gonna answer is which is the best missile flying cavalry in Total War Warhammer 3. And at the third place of the podium we find the Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bolas. One of the first things that made me fall in love with this game when I started to play was the fact that you could lead an army of warriors riding dinosaurs. You know, flying cavalry of pterodactyls for me was just insane. I loved it. But at the end, playing the game, I was not a huge fan of Pterodon Riders. They are definitely fast and good at harassing and skirmish strategies, but at the end their missile strength was quite poor, the range little, and they were mostly useful for the poison effect. Nothing more. But the Pterodon Riders with the Fire Leech Bolas, they are completely different thing. They're still very fast and not that good at melee, but at the end you can use it to play around with rallying enemies, but their missile attack is crazy. They have a lot of ammunition, and when you have a fire explosive damage, normally the ammunition are reduced, but it's not the case of this unit. The range is still little and the missile strength is not that big if you consider that they are just 10 entities, but the result itself, it's incredible. I mean, they do a lot of damage even to some armored units. I mean, they don't have to focus only on light infantry and so on. I mean, they are quite versatile, and then they have this bomb that they can drop on the battlefield. They have the primal instinct, so when the leadership when the health start to go down, they will have some stats increased, and yeah, their vanguard deployment, fire while moving, they are a very nice unit, and I think they deserve this place. At the second place we find the Oak Riders of Wood Elves. This is another very good unit. They have a very little armor, just 15, but they have a lot of speed. They have 110 of speed, that is one of the highest in the game. Good melee stats compared to the Pterodon Riders, for example. They are actually a little more reliable on melee. They have armor piercing damage, so you can use it as a light cavalry too. But of course their main strength is their missile power. That I'm not talking if you're using the faction of the Twister of the Twilight, because in that case you will have an additional ability that makes them just, I mean, so powerful. But I want to talk about the generic version, and it's still very good. The range it's high for a cavalry, for a flying cavalry, because it's 140, but I mean they're still elves. A lot of ammunition, a good missile strength, then the number of entities, it's okay, and as I said, it's very versatile. You can use it both in the melee mode and in the missile mode. They are very fast, so they can escape hard situation very easily. And yeah, if you are playing Wood Elves, I really suggest to recruit a couple of them in the right army, and you can use it from the beginning of the battle till the end, so quite powerful. At the first place of the podium we find the Changebringers, and I don't know if you noticed, but the missile strength is 300. There are characters, there are single entities with 300 of damage, but they have 300 for the 12 entities of them, and before, the unit of before that we talk about, they had like 60. Okay, and it's true that they have very few ammunition, but believe me that they are very worthy. First, let's say that their armor is very little, and they have the barrier, so they are quite protected when they will be attacked all of a sudden by the enemy units, and they have a good speed, so it's easy to escape. Don't get tricked by the melee attack and melee defense that they look good with all these effects, but it's not. I mean, they are not melee units. You can just attack probably rallying enemies, but just that. Their missile attack, it's everything. They are strong 4. They're just crazy. It's this flame shot that tear apart entire units. That's why you have to be very careful. You cannot, and you have very little ammunition, so you cannot focus your fire on a single unit multiple times. No. Every shot is precious, and you have to find the right target for that. You have to be careful of your formation, so deploy the unit in the right direction of the unit. You can decide if attacking the flank, the rear, the front, but you have to be careful about that, because if they miss something and they attack, for example, just one side of a unit, I mean, that damage will be completely wasted. So every shot has to be calculated. You have to, you know, manually shot at any target, and yeah, after 10 ammunition, you can just send away, and yeah, and don't worry about them. So be careful and enjoy it, because it's probably one of the most powerful units of the game. Now let's move forward to the question which is the best flying cavalry in Total War Warhammer 3, and at the third place of the podium we find the Plague Drones of Nargol. Honestly, a few years ago, even just 1 year ago, this was not a good unit. I already made, I mean, a long time ago, some videos about, because, I mean, it was definitely not good. Before Thrones of Decay, this was just a very, they were powerful, it was a powerful cavalry, but at the same time they were taking damage very quickly, and they were go down very quickly, so definitely not reliable, and since they were an elite cavalry, it was not worthy. Now, after a few patches, they get very better. Now they are a cool flying cavalry, very tough. The armor is not that great, but they have a lot of health, a lot of speed. In this case, I mean, yeah, compared to the missile flying cavalry, they have good melee attack, good melee defense, a lot of weapon strength. They poison, magical effect. They are armor piercing. The charge bonus is not that great, but I mean, still, since they are attacking from the high, it's definitely better. Then they have this additional missile attack, but honestly I would not suggest to rely on that. It may looks powerful from the stats, but actually it's not. So yeah, they are quite versatile, so you can use it in many ways, and now they are a little more resistant. They have even a plus melee defense when they are engaged in melee, so yeah, they are quite cool. So the physical resistance, because they are demonic, they cause fear, so yeah, they are definitely worthy. I would suggest to give them a try if you didn't have fun with them 1 year ago. We are again in the world of Tzeentch, because at the second place of the podium we find the Doom Knights of Tzeentch. Now, they are a quite powerful cavalry, even because in the Tzeentch army that relies a lot on your air fleet, you need some strong bulwark, you know, not of Kislev in this case, but of Tzeentch, to protect all the spellcasters, like the change bringers that we talked before. So they are definitely, I mean, they're good as a unit itself, but they are especially good in the Tzeentch roster. They have the barrier, so they are protected from, as I say, all of a sudden attacks, but they have also a lot of armor. It's 120, so they are quite indestructible, and even if they are cavalry, they are actually infantry, and this is important because they have better stats. The melee attack, melee defense, the weapon strength, it's better than other flying cavalry. The charge bonus is very good, because it's not only 52, you have to consider the bonus of attacking from the high, and then yeah, they have vanguard deployment, strider. You can use them in many ways, and you can definitely rely on them. They don't go down easily soon, so yeah, they can be your the wall of your air fleet of Tzeentch, and yeah, they're quite expensive, and you will start to recruit them just in the late campaign, but yeah, definitely a worthy choice. Okay, honestly, at the first place of the podium they were supposed to be the Hippogriff Knights from Bretonia, but I already made so many videos about them, so I just choose to take the Knights of Torgavald. That is a unit that apparently you like a lot. And yeah, I will use them to represent, we can say, the Griffon flying cavalry in this game. They are just 4. They're not, I mean, more than 10 entities like the Bretonia version, but they are quite powerful. These Griffon are very huge with a lot of weapon strength. They have 300 weapon strength, ammo pacing that it's the same of many little characters. A good armor, good speed. They are still 90 of speed, even if they are actually big dudes. A lot of melee attack, a good melee defense. Their charge bonus is great. They have the encourageability, so that so you can you can help the leadership of your nearby allies. Of course, you can recruit them only with the Hivres faction, with Eltharion, and yeah, I mean, to represent the Griffon, the Griffon cavalry, I think it's very good, because yeah, they are insane and they do a lot of damage. They are even tankies, like to have many flying tankies, the tankies that are attacking the enemies. So yeah, I mean, I have no words to describe them, and they definitely deserve this first place. Now let's answer to the question which is the best flying artillery in Total War Warhammer 3. And at the third place we find the Sky Junk. The Sky Junk is a powerful piece of artillery. It's you can have access to it very early in your campaign with the Miao Ying. I mean, it's in your starting army, so you can definitely have a lot of fun with it since from the beginning of your campaign. And yeah, it's very strong. It's this flying war machine, very slow. I mean, 30 of slow, it's slower than most of the slowest infantry, so be careful about that. You still have to use it as an artillery piece, so it's not it's a fast war machine, but yeah, at the same time it has more mobility, so you can in siege battles, or I mean, it's easy to deploy because you don't need to take into consideration the terrain and so on. It's a single entity, so probably compared to the counterpart, the field artillery counterpart, that is the Fire Rain rocket battery of Grand Cathay, is probably less strong, but yeah, you, as I said, you gain strength in mobility and so on, and of course but the missile strength is the same. I have to say that is the same. So with the field artillery you have 4 entities of that. With this war machine you have just 1. The ammunition are good. They are even here very explosive with the fire damage. They hit the target quite well, even because they are from a higher position. Their range is good, but it's not impressive. It's 360. That yeah, it's a medium for a medium artillery. Of course, you cannot rely on that in the melee, so be very careful about that. The armor is good, but of course, if the units target it, he will go down very fast. It has some additional ability, like the Eye of the Dragon, so they can spotting enemies in the forest, but I don't know if it's that useful, because the effect range is just 50, and I mean, if there are 50, enemy would have probably already attacked you or shoot at you. And then they have a bombardment ability. They can drop a bomb for 3 times by default, and of course when you have an enemy below. So quite, I mean, it can be useful in many situations, very mobile. So in your late campaign I would probably suggest to recruit 1 or 2 of them. At the second place of the best flying artillery of the game we find the Thunder Burge by Dwarves. Now, this is the most expensive, the most powerful unit of all the game, but there are some problems. The armor is definitely good with 80, so you are of course a huge target, and this is the biggest problem, because you're even very slow. So if the enemy want to attack you with the flying cavalry characters, or just missile power, they will have a very easy job. So it's a very huge target, very slow. The melee attack and melee defense, of course, is nothing, even if it has a lot of weapon strength for a reason that I cannot explain. And yeah, the ammunition range attack things, it's a little weird to understand, because you can read like the range of 1 and say, what is that? Because it is referred to basically to the main, we can say, missile attack that is dropping bombs on the enemies. So when you fly over the enemy, it will automatically drop bombs, and when you will you know, target the enemy, just say to attack, so give the attack action, the Thunderbird will go to the enemy. So be careful about that, because even if it's a missile unit, when you say to attack, it will go to the enemy, and you know, it can be exposed to many dangers. But actually this unit is a gunship with a lot of different missile attack. Cannons, there are snipers, there are handgunners, and there are people dropping bombs from above. So yeah, it's quite powerful, and of course if you take care of the enemy that can attack and take it down, then it will have a very easy job. You can win basically any competition with just Thunderbird against any enemy army. So use it correctly and you will see miracles. At the first place, I honestly feel to put, I know it can be a little controversial because the Thunderbird is, as I said, the most powerful unit of this game, but for me the best flying artillery are the Gyro bombers, of course by dwarfs. Now in this case you have 4 entities with more armor, 100 of armor, and more speed. I mean, the Thunderbird is very slow, just 30, but they have 90 of speed. That's for a war machine that strong, with a very strong missile attack. Having even this speed is a huge advantage. Of course you cannot rely on them for the melee, but I mean, as I said, they are faster, so they can escape hard situation. Their attack, what we can say, the range is not that high, but still 130 for a flying unit, it's a lot. The missile strength is 500 with armor piercing damage and with the suppressed fire that basically reduces the speed of a lot of your enemy. You have the spell resistance, so good if the enemy attack you with the magic, and the Gyro bombers bomb that are 11 by default. They are this powerful explosion that you can drop over the head of many different enemies. They can really bring the havoc to the game, even without the missile attack, even just with the bombs. In the case of the Skyjunk, for example, this is just an extra damage, but for the Gyro bombers it can be even your only missile attack. But they have also, as I say, this missile attack that it's this, I mean, they shotgun the enemy. They are very accurate. They are very accurate, very armor piercing, so you can address characters, big monsters, cavalry, heavy infantry. You can, you know, using your flying and your speed, you can flank the enemy. I mean, they're so powerful at everything they do, and they're not that expensive like the Thunderbird. So I prefer honestly to have 3 units of that than a Thunderbird, and that is the price. So yeah, I quite in love with this unit. I know many of you think the same, so I think they deserve the first place as the best flying artillery in this game. At the third place of the best monster, the flying monster in Total War Warhammer 3, we find the Terrorgeist. That it's the same even if they have different names and different cards, they are the same in the Vampire Coast and the Vampire Counts roster. So I just took the Death Shriek Terrorgeist because I prefer Vampire Coast, honestly. Now the armor, it's good, not that much. The speed, it's in 19, that for a single entity like that, it's a good number. The melee attack and melee defense are of course very good, with a lot of weapon strength, and as you can see, this unit is specialized against large entities. So against other monsters, it can be cavalry, it can be another huge dragon, and they have many little abilities that together they really make this unit great. It has the poison, it has the regeneration. So when you are fighting, when you have like a tete-a-tete fight against another monster, this unit will probably win. I mean, probably almost every fight in this game, because with the poison that will reduce the stats, with the regeneration, so you will see your unit taking damage, but that damage will be completely replenished, so don't worry about that. And still they cause terror. They have a breath ability like all the dragon-like units, that it's a powerful explosion, good against a single unit, and ammo piercing. So yeah, I mean, they are an undead unit, so they're immune to fear, terror, and so on. So they have many advantages. I know that probably you didn't expect to see this unit here, because there are a lot of flying monster in this game, but for me it definitely worthy and it deserves the third place. At the second place we find the Bloodthirster of Khorne. This is another amazing unit. It's this big flying entity, more mobile than the normal flying beast, because I mean, it's still kinda infantry, so you will see the difference compared to a dragon, for example, when he has to move around the battle or escape an engagement with another unit. The armor is very good, it's 70, the speed 95, good melee attack and melee defense, of course powerful with the fire damage, magical effect. The weapon strength is very high, armor piercing, and with the anti-large bonus, so even this unit is specialized against cavalry or characters, mounted characters, or definitely other monsters. The charge bonus, it's crazy that you have to still to consider that they are attacking from above, so they will I mean, they will have a very huge bonus at the end. Since they are Khorne, they are not only with the physical resistance of demon, but they have even the spell resistance, so quite protected by both from arrows, for example, and from spells. They cost terror, of course, and you have to be careful when he got damage, because there is the wood thing that will decrease all the stats, but I mean, except these very little things, you will have a predator that can catch any other monster in the game. You can send it against everything, and you know, in a roster like Khorne that relies a lot on melee, I mean only on melee, you really need some flying force, I mean flying capabilities. You're just the Furies and some generic lords, but yeah, except that, you can have only with the Bloodthirster a very powerful flying machine of meat and iron, so you need it, you definitely need it in your ultimate Khorne army. And yeah, just have a fun a lot with that, because it's a crazy unit and their its animation are so cool. At the first place of the podium of the best flying monster in Total War Warhammer 3 we find the Star Dragon. The Star Dragon, of course it represents all the dragons of the game. This is, I mean, a way to say that probably all the dragons overall are the best, the flying monsters in Total War Warhammer 3. But of course the Star Dragon is the ultimate, is the father, the mother of all of them, and it's even the biggest, I mean, like as a model. It has a lot of armor with 90, that for a beast that big, it's huge. The speed it's 80, that is not the best in the dragon's world, but still, I mean, you can definitely rely on its speed. The melee attack and melee defense are very good. Of course there are problems with the defense, because it's a very large model, so it will be attacked by very multiple sides. The weapon strength is of course insane with ammo piercing. The charge bonus, it's more than okay. It has some missile resistance, so you should not care a lot about arrows. It costs terror. He has the Star Dragon breath, that it's a breath ability like all the dragons have it, that they cause fire damage, and it's a powerful explosion that destroy a huge part of the units that you target, so be careful how to use it. In this case they're saying that the Star Dragon breath specifically, it's specialized against large combatants, so probably use it more against cavalry or other monsters than infantry. And yes, you will have this flying tank, very reliable. Other flying units like that, they are not very reliable. I mean, you have to be careful to let them engage in melee, because they can be in a vulnerable situation. But it's not the case of the Star Dragon, that it's a flying big tank, indestructible, and just with a sweep of its tail can annihilate entire platoons. So yeah, quite powerful, and I'm happy to end the video with that. Please tell me if you like the video and comment with your best words, and see you very soon.